What's up, everybody? FTWitachi here. You know what it is. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We have a New Year's live stream. Happy New Year's to everybody that's in 2022. I know Roxy be hella into 2022. I still have 2 more hours until 2022. So just thought I would give you all a heads up. Happy New Year's. I hope you're all having a wonderful night, day, wherever you are. And we are here to get a little bit of a New Year's live stream cooking with a brand new game. It is another visual novel, and this one is called First Snow? What is this called? Frosty Kiss. First Snow is the other one we played. This one's called Frosty Kiss. It's supposedly a New Year's one. I have no clue what it is, but it's not as long as First Snow. First Snow was like 6.5 hours long. It took me a whole week to play. This one is supposed to be roughly 25-30 minutes. So, yeet. Also, after we get through First Kiss... Is it First Kiss? Frosty Kiss. Fucking hell. After we get through Frosty Kiss... we'll go ahead and play some ACNH for a little bit. We're not going to do too much in Animal Crossing. Do the daily grind, and mainly the New Year's stuff, because it's New Year's, and that's the only game right now that really has a New Year's event that we are currently playing. FIFA has the cards, but not too much for me to really do event-wise. Overwatch has Winter Wonderland, which we've already done. Hearthstone, we're not playing yet. World of Warcraft, we're not playing yet. Animal Crossing's the only game. Pokemon Unite, not really. And then Pokemon BDSP, that's just a game in itself. So yeah, we're here with some Frosty Kiss. I don't know what this is. I really don't. Let's find out. Find out together. Oh, shit. Why do you have white freaking letters on blue? God. Who puts white letters on blue, fam? Jeez. Now I have to put glasses on to play a game? What are you doing to me? Dumbos. Alright, hold up. I need to get chat up and running before we even get into this. Alright, chat's good. For those of you tuning in, thank you again very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Let's go ahead and get into this. I wonder what is the spirit of New Year. See, I told you, it was a New Year's game. Even though it's called Frosty Kiss, it's got something to do with New Year's. I'm assuming it's post-Christmas. And what is New Year itself? Oh, this is also a Russian game, so the English might be bad. This is also free to play, so usually it is, but we'll sort it out. Just another time cycle, one of the many red letter days, or a much more alluring and mysterious event. If my memory serves me right, the New Year was celebrated even in ancient Rome. Who knows, maybe even before that. But why is it a holiday, and why are people so excited about it? Everyone decorates New Year trees? What the fuck? Who's decorating New Year's trees? Do you guys have a New Year tree? I know about Christmas trees, but holy. Dreams up of various stories, invites their friends? Lena says. Semyon. Oh, this is definitely Russian. There's a lot of free space behind it. What's the matter? Are you grudging the toys? The Christmas tree runs into the New Year, maybe. I have no clue. Russians do some weird crap. Lena's voice made me snap out of my thoughts, and I found myself standing still, clutching a small glass statue of a snow maiden in my fidgeting hands. Yeah, I'm on it. Slavia. Chop it smaller. We won't be able to eat it this way. Uliana, cucumbers should be over here. Have a look, please. Alright. One moment. I told you this was gonna be a... Woo. First Snow, 6.5... I'm gonna put it here. First Snow was probably the best, besides Doki Doki Literature Club, visual novel I have ever played in my life. The reason why is Doki Doki Literature Club was an absolute masterpiece. But First Snow, 6.5 hours of absolute mind-boggling art and absolute pure pristine storyline. And then I get this Russian absolute so far disaster. Free to play. Frosty Kiss game. Supposed to be with New Year's. They all got Russian names, and half of it's in Russian. Hip hip hooray. The art style I was told was going to be a little bit different. The girl, they look Russian to me. Like when I picture a Russian female, I picture the one on the right. But it is what it is. Let's get through this. Everyone, you never know. The story could pick up and we can get some good stuff. Everyone around is busy with holiday duties. Even I, driven by the ambiance, volunteered to bring up and decorate a New Year tree. Fucking no New Year trees, mate. So this is post-Christmas and they're decorating a New Year tree. Today is the 31st of December. I told you. What the hell are you decorating a New Year tree for? We've reached an agreement to celebrate New Year at Lena's. It just happened that way. Anyway, it's not like we had any other option. Lena's place was the obvious choice after all. Who would be pleased to celebrate New Year's in an untidy and dusty apartment like mine? Or in a dormitory in which Slavia and Elisa lived? I mean, this looks like a freaking dorm to me. Look at the damn TV, fam. A little kettle? What the hell is this? I don't mind it. I would live there, but I'm just saying. This looks like a dorm. Several hours left until New Year, and the preparations were going all out. I was finishing decorating our New Year's tree. Slavia, Uliana, and Lena, they're so Russian, fam, were casting their spells on the festive meals. Wingardium Leviosa, make it the new year. I don't know. Fucking casting spells to make food. What the hell's going on here? Meanwhile, Elisa dashed to get the groceries. I thought you bought as we were running out of ingredients in the last minute. Okay, I get it now. Obviously, we were hoping that Azania and Masha would drop in. But the evening... You know what? I'm going to start pronouncing them with some hard... Russian vibes. I don't know how to speak Russian, and I don't really know of a Russian accent, but we'll try. But the evening was getting darker, and the girls were nowhere to be seen. The front door slammed, allowing in the freezing fresh air that could even be felt here. Okay, they just didn't put a space. Near the Christmas tree. Elisa, come get the supplies. Having finally... I'm so sorry, my reading's terrible right now. Having finally hung the glass statue on a branch, I came up to Elisa. You can't even do that. It is Elisa, I know that, because I know a Russian person named Elisa. They pronounce it normal. Judging by her voice, the supplies were pretty heavy. She stood with her back against the wall, trying to catch her breath. Lena, couldn't you find an apartment even higher? Whoa, sure, it doesn't matter whether it's the second or fifth floor, it's exhausting in any case. She shouted in the direction of the living room. Only muffled laughter echoed from there. What, you climbed the stairs while carrying all that? Can't you see? Why didn't you use an elevator? That's what I had in my mind. Elisa stood up to me and glanced angrily at me. Being a smartass? The elevator already went up, and I didn't want to wait. What you standing still for? Move this to the kitchen. Stop making eyes at me and move. There's some stuff about to go down. Elisa has always been kind of a locomotive, and at the same time, an ignition spark in our company. Just as... Liana. I can't do it anymore. Also, I just want to say, yes, these are English words, but the way they're freaking throwing metaphors out for no reason. They're doing the English language a whole new thing. If we gathered up somewhere, it was definitely their scheme. The bags appeared to be really heavy, and when I tried to pick them up, I couldn't hold a cry of surprise. Oh, how feeble the men are these days. Come on, let me help you. There's men here? Together we I'm confused. Together we managed to get the large stretched due to the load bags to the couch that lamentably creaked under their weight. Dude, the words. What have you bought so much for? You'll thank me in the morning. Wow, girls, there are some firecrackers over here. Nosy Uliana has already peered inside a bag through a hole in its side, pulled out a long black box, yelling cheerfully, tearing the bag even harder. Oranges fell out and rolled around the floor. Uliana, having noticed the disaster she's done, Uliana gathered the fruit quickly and pretended a nice girl. She pretended a nice girl. Pretended it. Don't know what that means. The front door slammed again. Hi, everyone. And where have you been loitering about? Masha entered the living room, wearing a dark dress and roll-neck sweater that suited her perfectly. I wasn't loitering anyway. We've recorded our song today, and I tell you, girls, it's beautiful. So what's up? Got any news? Are there more people to come? Because there are so few of us here. Oh, Semyon. Hi there, too. I mean, we've been in the same room this whole damn time. We haven't been in the kitchen once. And I count like 5 to 6 people. If there's 5 to 6 people in that room alone with a couch that sits 2, maybe 3 skinny people, bro, I'm out. I'm claustrophobic as. Even though there were only 6 of us. There were 6. I said 5 to 6. It was getting pretty crowded in Lena's one-room flat. I told you, this is a dorm, fam. There's no kitchen to be found. What a beautiful Christmas tree you have. Is it real or fake? You know, we've bought a fake one and it smells so awful. Well, like plastic, you know? And here you have a real one. It's so cute. I adore real Christmas trees. Bro, you asked if it was real or fake, and now you know it's real. When I was little, we used to bring and decorate a real Christmas tree. And I would even chew its needles. And I also love Olivier salad, too. I know it's salad, but what the fuck's an Olivier? Do you add pickles to it? My mother always does, but one of my friends doesn't. I'm so fucking confused. What is going on? What does this have to do with New Year's? Somebody had to call Masha's endless chatter down, so I dared the chime in the conversation. Or should I say monologue? We are waiting for Zenya. Help us sort out the stuff, will you? Okay. Oh, by the way, this evening Suddenly, she went silent, pausing in mid-sentence. This evening you what? It's nothing. With a great deal of commitment, Masha went about loading off the bags, sorting food on the table while leaving the rest of the stuff on the sofa. There was a strange, nearly forgotten feeling that had been haunting me restlessly throughout the whole holidays, as though I was 12 again, hurrying up to bed so that I could wake up early in the morning and open gifts waiting for her under the New Year tree. Do Russians celebrate Christmas on New Year? Or, like, do they celebrate Christmas but do the gifts on New Year's? Or is this game just insinuating a parallel universe where they celebrate Christmas and New Year's on the same day? I have no clue what's going on. And Masha's strange nothing only served to reinforce this feeling. I guess this is just the first time in about 5 or 7 years I find myself in high spirits on the eve of the new year. Today I enjoy myself rather than stay buried like a mole within 4 walls. Forcing my eyes not to miss the moment, the clock in the corner of the screen marks the beginning of another cycle of the seasons. Couldn't tell the difference between, whoa. The 31st of December and the 1st of January, my guys, it's still winter. Or it's still summer. Wherever you live in northern, southern hemisphere, you got something going on. It don't change like that. It's all thanks to the girl. What did the girls have to do with anything? It's been only a while since the day we all met. Though, up to now, we've been hanging out together and visiting each other pretty often, as if we were old friends. Well, perhaps it was the truth after all. But can we call everything that happened to us real, or was it a bright and vivid dream our company shared? Though it mattered not now, the more important thing is the lesson we've learned from this dream. They do these weird transitions and we stay in the same room. I'm assuming the transition's like a time skip, but still. The hand of the clock was approaching the 10 p.m. mark relentlessly. Lena and Slavia were having a chat and rattling dishes in the kitchen. Oil was sizzling on the pan, and some meat was baking in the oven. filling the kitchen with appetizing savor. As the serving of the festive table is reaching its end. I mean, you should have eaten dinner by now. It's 10 p.m. Usually towards the new year, you're like either with the fam, celebrating, or just by yourself, ready to celebrate, doing something. Maybe watching TV, or you're actually out there doing something. Lots of trumpery was hanging from each and every corner I've reached. Garlands were twinkling with bright colors, and dolls' glassware was glistening from the branches of the New Year tree. The scent of tangerine and pine needles served as the complement of the elevated atmosphere of holiday, just like in good old days of childhood. Uliana and Elisa ran outside, having a strong intention to try out the explosive contents of the bag that filled it to the limit. Masha was lying on the sofa and seemed to be falling asleep. I don't see her. I was sitting on an old and soft art. Dude, what the fuck am I doing here? There's no art. That's why I do these games. I could have done this. Uh-oh. I kicked something. I could have done this game. Just throw on a story of some stuff. Go on Reddit and get some like banger couple super spicy scene story and just throw in a random picture in the background. I feel like this is not going to get any better. I hope it does get better. I hope we get some spicy stuff, but this one's an L. This was an L so far. Like, I give Doki Doki Literature Club, that is the 9 out of 10 peak of all visual novels. And then First Snow, I give that a freaking 7.5 out of 10. And then I've played a couple 5 out of 10s. This right now is like a 1 or 2 out of 10. This is the low of the low. Though at the very moment, I had not the slightest intention to notice any of the histrionic behavior. Is that even English? I don't know. I mean, if something doesn't catch your attention quickly, you aren't likely to continue long enough to get anywhere. Well, I play games through. Whether if it's a long game, I'll play it for an hour no matter what. To give it, I always give games an hour. Let's put it that way. All I wanted to see was a noisy celebration. Well, I mean, the art kind of drew me to it on Steam, and that it was free. That's usually a bad one, but First Snow was free. All I wanted to see was a noise, and it had good reviews. This game had reviews. It was a noisy celebration of holidays with cheerful people and their never-fading smiles. And I wanted to believe in their countless wishes of happiness and health, and that every wish would undoubtedly come true. This time, at least, my eyes accidentally caught a sight of some kind of little dark box lying on the floor. Uliana's firecrackers. At the same time, a mobile phone rang somewhere in the kitchen. You want me to drop them? Nah, climb up and take them by yourself. I won't drop them to you. What? Oh, okay. Send me on. Go down and give those firecrackers to Uliana. She's left them somewhere in the room. Thoughts were moving slowly in my head as if my mind was enfolded in some haze, and I didn't want to leave this soft and cozy armchair. Though, why don't I go out and breathe some fresh air? My stomach needs to take a break from those tempting smells anyways. Go down to Uliana or... this is what First Snow didn't have, was choices. So, there's a story, and there's some scenes that you guys aren't going to see, because I'm not doing this Let's Play ever again. We're giving myself one go at it. So I can either drop down the firecrackers from the window, or I can go down to Uliana. Now, I know my choice, but what do you want? What do you want, Roxy? What do you want? I'm pretty sure we're going to choose the same thing. What, you want me to drop down the firecrackers? Well, no, I want to go. I'm going down. Though it was too stuffy in the apartment, I'll go for a walk. I said to the girls in the kitchen and left the apartment shuffling on my couch. I wanted to get out of this. I wanted to get out of the house. That's why I chose that. See, we finally get a new scene because I chose something different. The street greeted me with noises from every corner. Someone was launching fireworks. Children were playing with peg tops. Little toys that were spinning and launching sheaves of multicolored sparks. Uliana and Elisa were setting up a huge firework that was probably equipped with at least 30 shots, as the box wasn't a small one. I'm afraid to imagine what cut of our budget was spent on this inanity. Insanity? Inanity? I don't know. Got it? Instead of answering, I showed her the small box. Give it here. Uliana snatched the box out of my hands. Well, now we're gonna rock this night. She had a twinkle in her eye, just like a small child. She's probably thinking of something to blow up this whole time. Why'd you buy them? You could make it yourself. It isn't the first time for you after all. What is up with Russians? If looks could kill, there'd be just a small pile of ash left of me under Elisa's incinerating glare. You're such a jackass, Semyon. What's wrong? Victorious capitalism prevailed over the young chemist? Old habits still turned up in the worst time possible, and now I realize I unwillingly tease Elisa. Alright, I'm sorry, don't blow top, whatever the hell I said. Hands raised themselves in a reconciling gesture. Would you, for one, stop apologizing in an upcoming year? Maybe just don't get mad at me. She just tiredly waved me aside and chilly shrugged. I'm gonna get warm. Freeze yourself if you want to. My coat wasn't the most frost-proof one, which is why I started to freeze as soon as I left the porch and felt the first wind blast. Just as I wanted to go back to the apartment, I was acutely pulled by the sleep. Hey, who's gonna launch the fireworks? And there are still some firecrackers left. Stay and launch the fireworks. Go get warm. Bro, I want some fireworks. Perhaps I should stay. Elisa, you can go back home while we prepare for the launch. I pointed my finger at the bag with fireworks cylinders sticking out of it. Well, so you are a numbskull after all. She snorted, turned around expressly, and trudged back to the apartment. You got what you wanted? I'm a numbskull now? Uliana just giggled behind my back in response, and my neck was instantly bited by billions of icy needles. Ah, you redhead piece of... Without even turning around, I carefully drooped, trying to cover myself from incoming snowballs with one hand, while scooping some snow and making a snowball with another. Hey, that's not fair. She didn't even let me turn around, aiming at my head and quite frequently hitting it. Will you stop already? Nope. She lost focus for just a moment, and after 2 life-saving jumps, I utilized the nearby bushes as cover. The stern battle raged on, but by dodging snowballs, I managed to warm myself up pretty nice. I no longer wish I had gone home with Elisa. Wait, hold up. What happened to blowing up some fireworks then? After another sharp hit to the bright down jacket, a snuffy voice could be heard from behind the tree. Hey, that's not fair. Go on, tell me. I should have taken a dive. Of course you should have. She went out from behind the tree, snuffily looking at me with her arms akimbo. Is that English? I don't know. Her upset appearance was so funny that a smile appeared on my face. Quit sulking with me. Got hit with a snowball. This isn't such a big deal. Alright, let's go launch some firecrackers. Her easily appeased temper could knock my socks off sometimes. Just a moment ago she was burning me with her blazing expression, and now she's already suggesting screwing around. Heh, let's go. Whee! Uliana quickly ran away from another aluminum tin, which had a thin gray string of smoke coming out of its hole. In a second, an unlucky piece of aluminum was torn asunder with a sudden blast. I don't know what just happened there, just like a kid. Even despite the fact that Uliana was on her first year of studies in a university, her ways of entertainment couldn't be called ordinary. Judging by the other girls' stories, she was always screwing around. Apparently, she even volunteered to be a camp leader. Uliana as a camp leader? That image appeared in my mind instantaneously. A pioneer uniform. Her strict voice lecturing ankle biters. I couldn't contain the laughter. What you laughing at? They spelled something wrong there. Ah, nothing. Just thinking why some individuals still enjoy playing with firecrackers. Uliana gave me a surprised look. What's wrong? That's funny? Where's the fun in that? Just an explosion, and its tin is torn apart. It's possible to hurt an eye with a splinter. Let's not do this again, okay? I'm worried. Juliana waved her hands in protest. About yourself? About you as well. Well, if you're worried about me, we won't do this again. An explosion went right off behind her back. Alright. I frowned. Something should be done to bring that girl to her senses. Yeah, alright. That was the last one, I swear. I stretched my hand out and Juliana sorrowfully unloaded the rest of the warheads in my palm of my hand. You are indeed born. What are you going to do then? I was about to suggest something but immediately reconsidered because I had nothing to suggest. I couldn't even imagine what one could do outside in winter besides wandering around between the house and the nearest mini market and optionally studies. Let's make a snowman? I gave her a condescending look. I'm still 10 years old for you. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? To me, it's fun. She silently sat in the hunkers and started to furl the soft snow. I was standing nearby and amusedly watched her attempts to make something round of a slush ball. Don't just stand here, help me. Well, great. Really mature. Okay, we'll make a few balls, put it on top of each other, so what? Okay, this character's really boring. Juliana stood up and threw a serious look at me. Look, that's all, everything is a part of New Year. The presents, the snow, the bells chime, Father Frost, all of this, New Year. I don't get why you're such a deject creature. What happened to your... Fuck, I pushed the wrong button. Thing is, nothing happened. That's why I'm like that. Okay, Semyon, I believe is me. Really dumb and really boring. I'm not sure if that was the truth or not, but somehow I really wanted to trust myself. That was the reason for my passiveness, who was my style of life itself, not me. It's always pleasingly to know that someone else is responsible for your failures. Juliana kicked the slush ball, and it fell apart. She turned around and headed to the porch. I froze in place. Just a second ago I was ready to leave myself, but now I felt extremely offended. Offended by myself, by being such a miserable toad. I can't even pretend I'm cheerful to not upset the girl. Exactly, you are miserable. You're bulbing. I felt some kind of unpleasant, tight lump appear in my chest. If I managed to upset Juliana, I really did something wrong. And this holiday, too, it meant a lot for her. I could have not had these feelings. But for sure, didn't have a desire to spoil it for someone. I sat down in front of the tumble-down slush ball and tried to gather it in one piece. Somehow I managed to do it. Then I started rolling it into the ground, carefully straightening the sides. The slush ball was slowly turning into a sphere. So where are you? Turned around and saw me making circles around the quadrangle. What are you standing for? Come on, make the second one. Juliana incredulously came closer and started to make a second ball. Keeping an eye on me, she tried to roll it, but all of a sudden slipped and her face fell directly into the slush ball. When she got up, her appearance was so hilarious that I couldn't contain myself to burst into laughter. Well, see, the issue with this whole visual novel so far is the art. There is none. Funny as a crutch. But her face was a dead giveaway. In a second, she couldn't control herself and started laughing out loud. Then she made a snowball and threw it in my face. The snow got precisely in my mouth, which made the situation even more hilarious. Having finally stopped laughing, we continued to make the snowman, smiling from ear to ear. And here it is, something made of 3 snow spheres, with hands that were supporting the fat potbelly. Standing before us instead of nose, the snowman had a branch, and some random conlets ended up as his eyes. If only we had a carrot. That would be real classic, with a broom in the hand and a bucket on the head, to be precise. I was standing next to Juliana and watching this snow miracle, and all of a sudden I felt warm and cheerful, like I'm going back to childhood, when we were walking and playing in the snow with my parents. Juliana looked at me and grabbed her hand. I just had a sudden desire to hold someone's hand, but actually it was like childhood, the snow falling from the sky, the New Year tree lighting up the outdoors, and the snowman. Someone's hand you can clasp. I checked the time, New Year's was at hand. I dragged Juliana's attention to the fireworks. Let's launch them right at 12 o'clock. Alright, she said and gave me a warm smile. The phone's clock was counting down the last seconds of the strange, full of mysteries, losses and discoveries, happy and sad moments, year. Uliana rose with a spring, pulling my sleeve. Is it time? It is. She took a match folder out of her pocket and ran up to the artillery, which was armed and ready by that time. 5, 4. Uliana was emblazing wicks after wicks, constantly swearing and breaking the matches. 3, 2. The last wick ignited, strewing the ground with sparks. 1. And precisely in the first second of New Year night, night above us shined with bright lights that looked like marvelous flowers. Red, green, golden, you name it. Look! Oh, I was a guy. Fucking hell. I have no clue. Okay, this guy's a weirdo, dude. This guy's a weirdo. She ran up to me, grabbed my hand, and pointed to the sky. Although that was actually unnecessary, I was fascinated by the sight as well. What's so special about these lights and snowmen, after all? Why exactly this day? Why do we make yourself wake up from the dream, dust off the fluff, and lighten up your soul? Watching Uliana, it became clear that I just forced myself too deeply in the borders of dejection and loneliness I created myself. So maybe it's time to break these borders, and once again, learn to enjoy the simplest things, and being a child at least sometimes. Chime of bells echoed from someone's open window. Uliana shouted Happy New Year and suddenly kissed me right in the unshaven cheek. The same moment she became extremely shy because of her abrupt longing, dropped her eyes and quit hold of my hands. I'm sorry, what's wrong? Nothing. She went beet red, nearly matching the shade of her cheeks with the colors of her hair. First of all, I'm glad I chose this path of the story, but I'm assuming the other paths would have just put me with one of the other girls. It was simple as that. Her embarrassed look gave me warm feelings. I grabbed her hand and caught her surprised eye. Hey, no biggie. I bent down, kissed her in her ear, and said, Happy New Year. Frosty kiss. So there you have it. Thanks for reading this short story. Our team wishes you a Happy New Year. We believe that positive thinking, kind people you'll meet, and your strong and successful initiatives will lead you to the brighter future where all your dreams, even the most extraordinary ones, will undoubtedly come true. Lastly, we hope you'll find your own Lena, Alisa, Miku, Uliana, Slavia, Lulia, and live happily ever after. Good luck. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was 30 minutes of an absolute poo visual novel. I give it a 2 out of 10. This is the best part of the visual novel, is the loading screen. There's actually some animation going on. We got some freaking snowflakes. It is what it is. Sometimes we play bad games, sometimes we play good games. This was definitely one of those bad ones. But I will be back in about 5 minutes. We'll get into some Animal Crossing New Horizons. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. And yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in so far. Gotta get that ACNH loaded up.